because I already knew what would happen next. I invited them for dinner. Just family, I said, to celebrate new beginnings. They arrived together, smiling, rehearsed, unaware. Rosie in designer white, my father in his navy suit, the same one he wore for her award ceremony. The bakery glowed that night. Every candle lit, every table dressed in quiet perfection. I poured them wine, offered them pastries, watched them eat. Halfway through dessert, I spoke. I read your proposal. The room froze. Rosie glanced at my father. He straightened slightly, ready to deliver a justification that had been practiced. But I didn't let him. I slid a folder across the table. Inside, emails, invoice transfers, timestamps, recipe drafts with my original notes. And at the top, an official notice from my lawyer, addressed to both of them. Intellectual property theft, it read. Rosie's fork fell. The sound was small, sharp, final. "You had no right," she began. "Neither did you," I said. My father's expression changed. The kind of change that comes when a man realizes the child he underestimated has grown teeth. "You could have talked to us," he murmured. I smiled faintly. "You never listened." Silence. The longest kind. I stood, walked to the counter, and set down a box, 2 pastries inside. My signature cinnamon tarts. "For you," I said. "One last taste of what you tried to steal." Rosie's eyes shimmered, but no tears fell. My father looked smaller than I remembered, older, hollowed out by the reflection of his own choices. "I'm selling the bakery," I said quietly. "To strangers. They value it more than family ever did." Rosie inhaled sharply. "You can't." "I can," I interrupted, "because unlike you, I built it myself." They sat in silence as I untied my apron and placed it on the counter. The air smelled of sugar, butter, and the ending of something sacred. I walked them to the door. My father hesitated at the threshold. His eyes searched mine for softness, for forgiveness, for the daughter who used to beg for approval. She wasn't there. He cleared his throat. "Eloise, this isn't what family does." I met his gaze. "No," I said, "it's exactly what family does." And I closed the door. Later that night, I sat alone by the oven, watching the last batch rise. The dough expanded slowly, perfectly, obedient to the heat, unbothered by betrayal. My phone buzzed again. Another message from Dad. "We need to discuss the baked." The same unfinished line. Maybe he meant the baked goods. Maybe the baked lie. Maybe he simply couldn't finish what he started. Either way, I didn't reply. I turned off the oven, packed the last loaf, and left the key on the counter. Some creations aren't meant to be saved. Some must burn to reveal what was rotten underneath. Outside, the night smelled of rain and smoke. I didn't look back. Because sometimes silence is the only flavor left worth keeping. Silence expanded, dense and suffocating. Then, like a spark catching in dry grass, realization spread through them, slow, consuming. "You moved the money," my father said. "Yes." He stared at me, disbelief unraveling into something darker. "You don't understand what you're doing." "I understand exactly," I said. "I'm ending the tradition." "What tradition?" my mother whispered. "The one where I pay for your choices. No shouting, no chaos, just quiet collapse." My brother's face reddened. "You're ruining everything. We're family." "No," I said. "We were transactions disguised as family." His chair scraped back violently, but my father's hand stopped him. "Sit down," he hissed. They turned to me then, united again, but not in love, in desperation. The same alliance that built the betrayal now begged for survival. I almost felt sorry for them. Almost. "You think this gives you power?" my father asked. "Cutting yourself off?" "No," I said softly. "It gives me silence." When I stood, none of them moved. My mother's eyes glistened, not with remorse, but fear. The fear of a system without its foundation. I placed a folder on the table, documents transferring their remaining assets into accounts only they could access. I had taken nothing, not a cent. "You keep it," I said. "All of it. Every debt, every lie, every bond you forged through guilt." My father looked confused. "Why?" "Because I want you to understand what I was worth to you," I said, "and what you're worth without me." I walked to the door. My brother's voice cracked behind me. "You can't just walk away!" I paused. "Watch me." I didn't turn around. The air outside was colder than before, but it tasted clean. For the first time, I felt something like peace, but not softness. Peace can be sharp when it's earned through disillusionment. As I walked toward my car, I thought of the girl I had been, the obedient daughter, the safety net, the silent fixer. She had died outside that door weeks ago, replaced by someone who had finally learned the language of refusal. I didn't hate them. I didn't love them. I just understood them. And understanding is the cruelest revenge of all. I drove into the dark, leaving their lights behind me. They would turn on each other now. They always do when the supply ends. For years, they had taught me that family meant sacrifice. They never realized I learned how to make one.